佢唔想批評翻彭定康嘅見解，但係佢認為美國喺對外貿易處於劣勢嘅時候，實在係冇條件要求其他嘅國家奉行佢哋嘅觀念。
He's the product of a British parliamentary tradition, and his knowledge of Asia has only been since he came out as governor. I mean, a serious study of Asians and Asian societies. This has been a long-running debate with the West. It's not, and what I'm stating is not in reply to the governor, which I think is really not necessary for me because he's entitled to his views. He's governor of Hong Kong. The Europeans, including the British, are not in a position to twist arms. I mean, you may be able to twist African arms, but not Asian arms. I mean, the trade is not that way. You're not enjoying, or rather, allowing Asians to enjoy trade surpluses. I mean, all of us are enjoying American surpluses, or American deficits and our surpluses. This means that there's always this pressure from American human rights groups, a little bit of one-upsmanship. We are a superior civilization, come up to our standards. What have you got to give the world except brutality, cruelty, crudeness? And Asians who are not unfamiliar with the West are beginning to talk back, and talk back in American terms, the American selectivity. I mean, it's nothing universal about American policies. Your standards do not apply universally. You yourself do not apply it universally, but selectively where it's cost-free.
佢又話：中國文化根深蒂固，中國根本就唔會因為美國以取消最惠國待遇作為要挾而改變自己嘅立場。
You're trying to change standards which have prevailed in Asia for thousands of years, and in the case of China, 4,000 to 5,000 years. The Chinese position is clear. They have not shifted. They will make cynical concessions, like before the Olympic committee met in Monaco, they released Wei Jingshen. There's no change of heart. There cannot be. It's a different culture. It's a different civilization. They conquered China. They established their right to govern China. 打天下，坐天下. I conquered the world. I sit on this world. You want them out? Form your Eighth Route Army. Get rid of them. It's a simple philosophy. It's how dynasties rose and fell over 4,000 years of Chinese history. How will this civilization change? Only through extensive contact with the rest of the world, a new generation, or perhaps two new generations of educated people in contact with the West, arguing with Asians, with Americans, with Africans, with Latin Americans, and slowly becoming world citizens. They're not going to change because Bill Clinton, under pressure from his human rights group, says MFN will have to cancel it.
佢又認為經濟嘅發展唔一定會帶嚟政治上嘅轉變。
You cannot have societal change which comes from introduction of new technology, new ways of making a living, new ways in which a society is organized without a shift in values, in lifestyles, and the way it governs itself.
But the Chinese leadership doesn't, at least at the moment, seem prepared to accept that. Do you think it will over a period of time?
I'm not sure that they're all that immovable. they have already devolved power to an unbelievable extent to the provinces, especially the coastal provinces and the new SEZs. Now, what I'm saying is this. They are not ignorant people. They want China to modernize. They can see no alternative but to go into the world economy and make use of outside inputs of capital, technology, expertise, and markets that has profound implications for the way Chinese society will develop.
但係佢都認為中國嘅一大弱點就係人治而唔係法治。
I think it is one of their weaknesses that they have not been able to get away from rule by man and not ruled by system or ruled by law. It will be a problem each time the central figure changes. If they want to have continuity and run a modern economy, they will have to establish a system where the institutions decide how the country should go and people fill up jobs, key jobs in these institutions. China has never had that, and that's one of our greatest weaknesses.
講到中英談判已經歷時好耐，最終會唔會破裂？李光耀話佢唔知道，咁但係佢就認為中國是否獲得最惠國待遇同中英談判冇關。
Well, because a Sino-British row can't go beyond a certain point. I mean, there's no big fallout. If you haven't got a 20 billion trade deficit, which can bring the Chinese economy to a halt if you stop it, and then Hong Kong comes to a halt, Taiwan comes to a halt, all our investors who put money into China also come to a halt. Britain has the right to govern up till the 30th of June 1997, and the Chinese in great indignation say, come 1st of July 1997, we start afresh. I mean, that's the greatest harm that can come.
佢又話：香港要平穩過渡，保留大批有經驗嘅高級公務員係非常之重要。咁但係中英因為政制問題爭拗，現時負責推行港府